Hi guys, it's Sam from Creatively Sam's, and today I'm participating in the Trash to Treasure Secondhand Challenge with Sonia from Domestic Diva 76 and Lisa from Lisa and Company. What you're supposed to do is take a piece of trash and turn it into something that is a treasure. This is actually trash. A friend of mine, thank you Charles, found this in the garbage and he thought I could play with it. So he got it out of the garbage and he gave it to me, and it looks like a little chair. I'm not even sure if it's supposed to have a little drawer in there, if that's supposed to be a shelf, what. But I think the baby's going to like this. So the first thing I'm going to do is, I've got my spick and span and my paper towels, and I'm going to get this really, really clean. And after I get that all cleaned up, I'm going to use a little sandpaper, and I'm going to sand the whole thing down. And once I get all the dust from the sandpaper off, my stash of paints. I think I'm going to use the Rust-Oleum over here because it's a paint and primer and it has ultra coverage. And then I'm going to use this Krylon glossy, it's called Peekaboo Blue, and the camera's picking it up a lot darker than it is. This is a baby blue. So, I'm going to try and get as much done tonight as I can, and then tomorrow I'm going to give it some paint. I've just cleaned up here and the seat, and I've already got this much off. So this is going to need a couple of scrubbings. But then again, he gave me this over a year ago, and it's been sitting in storage outside. So it's not too bad, actually. Okay, I'm going to get back to cleaning. Okay, this cleaned up really well, but I did notice a couple of little spots. Let's see if I can get you in close enough. That actually needs filled in. So I got some of my plastic wood out. And I'm just going to take a little tiny bit of this. And fill that in. And then once it dries, I'll be sanding it when I sand the rest of this little chair. To be honest with you, if I was just going to use this for decoration, like to set plants on or something like that, I wouldn't worry about it. But since this is for the grandbaby, I am filling in all these little spots. Okay, when that dries, I'll be sanding, and hopefully tomorrow it won't rain and I'll be able to get some of this done. Okay, I've sanded, and I'm going to wipe this off with water. Since I used the spick and span, I want to make sure I not only have all the dust off, but I want the soap off too. And that'll let the paint go on smoother. And this is just a small bottle of water that I keep in the craft room all the time. Well, since I can't really do much more for that chair till tomorrow, when I can take it outside and spray paint it, I got out some wooden letters that I'm 90% sure that I got these from Walmart, and I know Plaid made them. But I got the baby's name all spelled out, and I've got some white paint, and I'm going to give them a couple really good coats of white. Well, the white's all dry, and I'm gonna change this. And if you're gonna do any painting, I highly recommend you get one of these. It's only a couple bucks, and it really saves your hands. But I'm gonna change the white up into the baby blue, and I'm gonna give that probably 2 coats. Well, this is 1 coat, and it's kind of showing up, but it's not as blue as I want it, so it's definitely going to take 2 coats. Well, I've got 2 coats on there, and it's looking good. So I get to take that in now and finish it up. I'll be honest with you, I have never tried this paint. I have had this for years, and I never really had the opportunity to give it a shot. So I'm going to give the letters that are going to go on this chair a couple of coats, and we'll see what happens. Okay, that's 1 coat, and they're already starting to look yellow, and I guess that's the way it's supposed to look since the cap looks a little yellow, but live and learn. Now there's 2 coats, and I think I'm going to leave it like that. I'm not sure if 3 would even do anything, but I'm going to leave them. I'm going to take them in because it's starting to get cold and dark. But if they need another coat, I'll do it tomorrow. Okay, I decided I want to put a cushion, pillow, whatever on the seat to make it comfy for the baby when he's reading a book. So I'm going to measure this out, and that's 8.5. By 11.5, and I'm going to add a 1/2 inch all the way around, so it's going to be a 9 by 12. That'll give me the room that I need for stitching and turning and stuffing and everything. So I'm going to cut myself out a pattern, and I have some of the star fabric left over. This is the very last of it, so I'm going to be getting some use out of that. Okay, I have the fabric cut out at 9 inches by 12, and I'm going to sew all the way around, 1/4 inch in for the seam allowance, which will give me a finished piece of 8.5 by 11.5. And I'm going to start here and sew all the way around and stop there, and leave this open to put this stuffing in. Okay, I've got it stitched all the way around except for this place where I can get my hand in, and I have clipped all the corners to take out the bulk. And now I'm going to turn it inside out, and I'm going to stuff it. Okay, I've got the little pillow stuffed, and this is going to give him lots of cushion for his little bottom. And I'm just going to close this up doing the ladder stitch, and I've showed how to do this before. You bring the needle up in the seam, and then you, hang on 1 minute, then you go in one side and come out that same side, and then you cross over to the other side and do the same. And you keep doing that until you get to the end. And I'm sure you can see it's already starting to make a ladder. Like that's the little rungs of the ladder. And when you pull the thread, it disappears, and it makes an invisible seam. Okay, I've gone all the way around, and if you haven't seen it before, I'm going to show you how to knot this off. I just go down into the seam and make a knot, and do it again, Make a knot, and then put the needle down in the seam and bring it out anywhere. And then I'm going to cut this off, and the tail of this thread stays inside the pillow, and you never have it sticking out. Okay, I think this pillow is just a little bit too puffy, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little stitch in the very center, and I'm going to do that by bringing the needle over from the side and up to the center, and pull that thread until it just goes in, and then I'm going to give it a little knot here. And now I'm going to go through to the other side. Pull it through and then go back to the front. And I'm going to give it a little knot, and I'm going to repeat the same thing 1, maybe 2 times. Okay, there it is, done 3 times. And I'm just going to put a little knot in it. And then, like I showed with the ladder stitch, push that back down in and pull the tail out in another place. And it would have been so much easier for me to use an upholstery needle, but I honestly didn't feel like fishing one out. Yeah, put it down in there. Bring it up. Cut that off. And the tail has now disappeared. And it's not overly puffy. And I thought about stapling this or gluing it, but my grandson's 3 years old. You know he's going to take this off and put his little head on it. So that's the way this is going to stay. Now I have to put his name on the back here. And I'm going to do a little folding of some paper so I can get that lined up real nice. Okay, I cut a piece of paper that will fit the entire back of this, and folded it in half and folded it in half again. And that way I'm going to be able to find the very center of this. Now for the letters, I've got a little bit of wood glue on there, and I'm going to be adding a little bit of hot glue on there to get it to where I want it. But by lining this up on the bottom, this is the middle. So it's going to go like so. And these are the letters that I did the glow-in-the-dark paint on. And that wood glue is going to hold these letters on, and the hot glue is going to hold it in place until the wood glue dries. And I'm going to finish putting all his little letters in. And I'll be back when I'm done with that. Okay, that looked a little lonely. And since the theme for everything is stars, I decided to do the same thing with some stars. I painted them white, and then I spray painted them with the glow in the dark. And on the back, I put wood glue on each of the corners. I'm going to put a little hot glue in the center. And the wood glue is going to keep it there. And the hot glue is going to give it an instant bond. So I'm just getting it where I want it, and then I'm going to give it a press. And that way the hot glue is going to hold it down in, and then by tomorrow this wood glue is going to be totally dry. So I'm going to finish putting another star on the other side, and down here I'm going to put some stars. Okay, I got the stars on the bottom, and I added two to the top. And I'd say this is about done. So that's my Trash to Treasure secondhand challenge. And I want to thank Sonia from Domestic Diva 76 and Lisa from At Lisa & Company for having this collab and kind of giving me the kick in the butt that I needed to get this project finished. So if you like what you saw, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and happy creating, everyone.